here to answer your questions for some period of time until they kick me off. And then hopefully by the time the session is over, I would love to hear back from you. I don't want this to be just a one-shot, hey, I heard her speak. I want to hear about your successes. I want to know what's going on. I want to root you on when you strive for leadership or you accomplish something. And it doesn't end there, and we can do that today through social media. Okay, so let me begin. Like many of you, I come from very humble beginnings. My mother and father immigrated to this country in the 1960s, and they did. They came with a suitcase and a dream. I'm Ecuadorian, don't hold that against me. I know in Texas there's not a lot of us, but that's okay. And my mother and father had 5 children. And a long time ago, they figured out that entrepreneurship, listen to this, 40-something years ago, they figured out that entrepreneurship was the way to their American dream. They had 5 children, and still, 40 years later, the entrepreneurship community is the backbone of the American economy. 2/3 of the jobs created in this country were created by small businesses. A lot of them leading the charge are Latino-owned businesses. In fact, Latina-owned businesses have now taken the limelight. 7 out of 10 Hispanic businesses are ran by women. And that's extremely powerful, but even back then, my parents knew that. So I grew up with the Chamber of Commerce on my left and the church on my right, like a good Catholic family. My parents had 5 children. I grew up in Los Angeles, California, and my parents, you know, how many entrepreneurs in the room, by the way? Okay, I see a couple. It's worth mentioning. My parents did everything they could to prepare me for the future. One of the best things they ever did is they allowed me to see them suffer. As entrepreneurs, this happens many times. The ups and the downs, and sometimes we try to protect our children from the downs. We don't want them to see us stress. We certainly don't want them to see us cry. I'm here to tell you that's okay. Because you see, at 12 years old, my father had to explain to me what a foreclosure was and why we had to leave our home. That leaves an impression. That matters. When everybody else has new shoes and you don't, and you're feeling that burn, that experience means something. And I know we all want to strive to give our kids the $250 shoes and that $300 headphones today, but once in a while, it's okay. It's okay to let them see the real world. So I grew up with a front row street to entrepreneurship. We came from humble beginnings. I helped run the family business. I started at the age of 10. That's what happens when you work in a Hispanic family-owned business. And I learned a long time ago that hard work is one of the key recipes to success. But my parents could never prepare me for what happened next in my life. At 17 years old, my father ran a chain of travel agencies. And by the way, I had every excuse to not go to work in the family business. Oh, I've got cheerleading practice. Oh, I'm student body vice president. Dad, I can't go. I tried like heck. But I learned that business anyway. And at 15, I was a full-fledged travel agent. Technology played a huge role in the travel industry. Today, the travel industry, as we knew it, is over. Technology has taken over and revamped that entire industry. We went from writing, literally manually writing. I don't think any of you guys are old enough to remember those days. We actually used to write the tickets. Remember on the airplane? Well, those tickets and the blank ticket stop were very valuable to us. One day at 17, I woke up and my father was murdered at his travel agency. He left behind 5 children, a wife, and a world of debt. So at 17, while most of my friends were worried about something else, I was worried about paying the bills, creating a company, and being a role model for my family. And so I did what I thought was right, like a good daughter. I went from high school to work. I didn't go to college like all my friends did the first year. And that 1 year that I ran my father's business taught me more about business and about life and about what I need to do to be that leader in my family. It was my first P&L at 17. I had a whole stack of people that worked for me that were a decade older than I was. And I learned a lot about leadership. But most of all, what I learned is that education would be the way that I would take my family to the next level.